I'm doing great, Mike. Once again, a pleasure being with you. I know we're going to talk about the NFL draft here shortly, but certainly want to talk about the Philadelphia Soul and the Boardwalk Bowl on May 30th. The Soul right now playing really good football. We are undefeated at 5-0. We host the we host Portland on Saturday. I'm talking about Las Vegas already down the road. We host Portland on Saturday at 6 o'clock at the Wells Fargo Center. Hopefully get to 6-0. And you know how hard I've worked and the Soul have worked to bring this game to Atlantic City. You know, as a lifelong, since I came to Philadelphia area anyway in 1977, resident of South Jersey, this game means a lot to me. And quite honestly, it's a little bit of a referendum on Atlantic City. Can they support a sporting event? We're bringing professional football on May 30th. The game is going to be nationally televised on CBS Sports. A lot of good things happening. So we need people to come out and support it. We're busting our tail, selling tickets, creating a great event, cheerleading clinics, football clinics to make it a great football day, and obviously capped off with the Philadelphia Soul hosting the Las Vegas Outlaws at 6 o'clock. So, we're looking for support, and I think, quite honestly, everyone in Atlantic City has been really behind this event, from Mayor Guardian to you name it, in the township that cares about sporting events. Everyone's been pitching in to help. So we'll know on May 30th, but we're excited to bring this game to Atlantic City.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. I hope this building's filled because it's a great venue to watch sporting events there, and you hope that you get the product is a great product. As you already said, the team is 5-0, and hopefully will be a perfect team when they come in here. But that building, when they get a good crowd in there, that is a great place. There's not a bad seat in the house, and this is a great stepping stone for maybe more, hopefully down the road.
Well, that is the plan, Mike. And when I did a site survey, now I have been to boxing events and numerous events at Boardwalk Hall, and it's a great facility. But since it's been renovated, it is a magnificent facility. And for our game, 10,500 seats, close to the field. I mean, you reach out, you touch the players. If a ball comes in the stands, you can keep it. If a player comes in the stands, please throw them back. We need them. But it's that kind of game. And Boardwalk Hall is perfect for this event. Our players are really excited about it. Vince Neal from Motley Crue is the owner of the Las Vegas team. He's excited about bringing this game to Atlantic City. So we've got all the bases covered, and you are correct. Boardwalk Hall is a magnificent facility. If this game does well, we plan on bringing 2 games out of the Wells Fargo Center where we play our normal home games to Atlantic City next year. So this is not a one-off type of event. It's something we want to do and develop and expand our fan base in Atlantic City, which has historically been very supportive of sporting events.
Yeah, and that would be really cool, as you mentioned, the opportunity for more down the road here. For the people who are a little unfamiliar with the arena game, Jaws, can you give them a little insight to guys that they might recognize from either the pro game that have made that jump over with the draft now? I mean, teams are looking for talent all over the place. Give them a little insight on why this game is unique.
Well, we all know that the NFL is always looking for talent, and the example that everyone uses when we talk about Arena Football League players is Kurt Warner, who cut his teeth with the Iowa Barnstormers of the Arena Football League and had a Hall of Fame career in the National Football League. Each and every year we send from the Philadelphia Soul players to the National Football League. The latest being Tiger Jones, one of our wide receivers, was in Eagles training camp. Kent Richardson, one of our cornerbacks with the Cleveland Browns. So you get to watch high-quality, fast-paced, hit your opponent in the mouth type of football. And it's up close, it's personal, it's tight because you basically play in a hockey rink. Obviously, it's football, but that's the size of the field. 50 yards long, 8-yard end zones, 90 feet wide, tight nets, and it's a fast-paced rock and roll style of game. The game has been around 28 years, the Arena Football League. We have 12 of our games broadcast on ESPN. Every Philadelphia Soul game is on an ESPN platform, ESPN3, ESPN2, ESPN News. We have a contract with a number of games on CBS Sports, of which the Boardwalk Bowl will be telecast. So clearly, the Arena Football League is gaining traction as we try to cultivate players and build our sport. And certainly, as we all know, TV is a main component of that growth.
Ron Jaworski is with us here in the Philadelphia Soul. That date is Saturday, May 30th. And I want to, with the draft and all the quarterback play, I'm wondering, with the way the NFL is evolving with these bubble screens and getting the ball out of your hands real quick, do you think we will see more quarterbacks get an opportunity because of the style of play where in the Arena League, you just got to get the ball out of your hands, and that those guys are now becoming more used on the Sunday game where you just got to get that ball out, those bubble screens, get it out real quick.
Well, Mike, you're absolutely right. And by the way, the bubble screen was developed in the Arena Football League. Go back 12, 13 years ago when bubble screens were uncommon in the National Football League. They were being used in the Arena Football League. And as you may remember, a couple of years ago, I tried to sign Tim Tebow to the Philadelphia Soul. And I thought this would be a great opportunity to Tim Tebow to play football at a fast-paced, quick-twitch tempo. He is an incredible person. He's an incredible athlete, but he does have a measured delivery, and he needed to quicken the pace of that delivery. This would have been the perfect opportunity for Tim Tebow, like Kurt Warner, develop his game in the Arena Football League where there's quick pressure. You're not always throwing from a perfect platform. The ball must come out quick with good touch and velocity. It would have been the perfect opportunity for him. He decided he wanted to pursue his career in the National Football League, obviously just re-signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll see how that plays out. But there are a lot of quarterbacks that need to play. The only way you get better is to play. Not practice, not throw, but have bodies flying around you, getting rid of the ball quickly. And I thought this would have been a great opportunity for Tim Tebow. And I recommend it highly to many quarterbacks that I work with around draft time and talk to. If you don't make it in the NFL and you realize there are other opportunities besides the Canadian Football League, there is the Arena Football League, which develops high-quality players.
Ron Jaworski's with us here. Let's keep it on the quarterbacks here. Last night, 1-2, the quarterbacks went. One went to Tampa Bay. The other one went to Tennessee. Is that a surprise that they went 1-2, and were you anticipating that?
I was exactly anticipating that. I could have almost guaranteed that was going to happen. We all know that quarterbacks in the National Football League are driven up once they come out of the college ranks. I don't think either of these two quarterbacks, when you look at Winston and Mariota, to me project to be great quarterbacks, but I believe they will both be very, very good. So if you're in need of a quarterback like Tampa Bay was and like Tennessee was, and now they don't need that quarterback, they've got two young guys they can build around for the next decade, there is no doubt these quarterbacks, in my opinion, were going to go 1-2. I actually personally had Mariota slightly ahead of Jameis Winston. And being honest with you, like I always am, Mike, when he spent the 2 days down in Atlantic City at the Maxwell Football Club's a national awards gala at the Tropicana, I got to spend some time with him. Not only learned about the kid as a person, but learned about him from the mental side of his football acumen, and he was absolutely tremendous. So I really thought that projecting these guys out for the long run, Marcus Mariota was going to be the better player. Not to denigrate the talents of Jameis Winston, because we're splitting hairs here, but I thought I liked Mariota just a tad more.
Well, obviously, leading up to the draft, Jaws, Mariota to Philadelphia was coming from all angles. Last night, Chip Kelly said, we talked a little bit about it. We never offered any players. We looked around, too much to give up. Do you believe what Chip Kelly was saying? Ultimately, did they not really even consider moving up a lot last night?
No, Mike, I don't believe Chip Kelly. And in fact, you have to look at the other side, the teams that he was speaking to. They're the ones that are going to talk. And clearly Tampa Bay and Tennessee have talked. And they have made it clear that the Eagles offered an awful lot. And I think there's some reparation work that's going to have to be done in that Eagles locker room right now. There are a lot of players, including starting quarterback when he's healthy, Sam Bradford. His name has been talked about since he was traded to Philadelphia for Nick Foles, and, of course, that second-round pick that went to St. Louis. So, here's supposedly your starting quarterback, and every time there is talk of a trade, your starting quarterback is being mentioned. I'm not sure Sam Bradford feels very loved right now as a starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's almost like by default he's your quarterback. So there's some reparation that needs to be done. We've heard the names Cox and Kendricks and Boykin in all these discussions. And, of course, the Eagles, they have to deny it. It's their team. But when you hear the other teams saying it and the players that were involved, that adds validity and credibility to the speculation.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you there, and you wonder what some of the conversations were, reports of the packages, Jaws. Was it too much for Philadelphia, in your opinion? If you're an Eagles fan, are you happy that those teams turned those deals down?
Well, I'm kind of this belief. If you're a head coach, and I think we all know having a rock-solid quarterback in this league gives you the best percentage chance of success in the National Football League. So you want to get that guy. And I thought really this was a convergence of Chip Kelly's style with the skill set of Marcus Mariota. That doesn't happen but maybe once in a lifetime. So I applauded Chip Kelly for doing all he can to try to get Marcus Mariota. But quite honestly, I thought he played his hand wrong very early when, there was this sense that he wanted him very badly. And there are 31 other teams in this league that play the game just as good as Chip Kelly and Ed Manowitz and the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think they played their hand a bit early. It made their asking price very high, and the deal never got done. But clearly, if you love the guy, and I truly would do this. If I was in Chip's position, if I loved the guy, I really would have done anything it took to get the guy that I felt was going to be my quarterback for the next decade.
Now that we know that he's not here and Bradford is Bradford, and I agree with you a little bit, Jaws. I said this yesterday. How is the relationship? It's going to be a little awkward if Bradford ultimately was the guy who blocked that deal because he didn't want to sign the contract extension to go to Cleveland. If that was the deal breaker, how he would have been able to come back here, and that would have been an awkward relationship. I guess ultimately that didn't happen, but you're right. Is now Bradford a good fit here now that we know that he's the guy that's going to be here?
If healthy, and I think that's the big if right now. There's no question Sam Bradford, when he was coming out 5 years ago, was an elite projection. The guy's incredibly talented, but he's been beat up, coming off 2 ACLs, a shoulder, an ankle, a finger, numerous injuries. In his college days at Oklahoma and his pro days with St. Louis, he's missed more than 50% of his games due to injury. That's an awful lot of football games. And I don't care how many milkshakes Chip Kelly can mix up and how many heart monitors he can put on. When guys get hurt, they usually have a history of being prone to injuries once again. Now, we're all hoping this will be different with Sam Bradford, but history has proven that normally when guys get hurt, they continue to be a problem down the road. Sam Bradford clearly is a very talented guy, but he's got to get healthy.
Ron Jaworski is with us here, one of the majority owners of the Philadelphia Soul. They're going to be in town at the Boardwalk Bowl Saturday, May 30th at 6 o'clock at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. I want to stress people, if you want events like this to come back, you got to get your tickets and support this event at the Hall. Go to PhiladelphiaSoul.com/BB for tickets or Ticketmaster, or just walk right up to the Boardwalk Hall box offices. Don't allow stuff like this not to come back by not supporting it. And one of the things I want to see is if people are supportive, like yourself, Jaws, of the Eagles pick. They didn't get Mariota, but Nelson Aguilar, they needed a wide receiver, very much in the mold of Jeremy Maclin. People like him, maybe not exciting, maybe not flashy, but in the end, did they make a very smart and safe pick?
It's very difficult to go wrong at number 20. Nelson Aguilar is an outstanding football player. He's got terrific straight-line speed. He's got the speed that fits well to what Chip Kelly likes to do. We've heard so much about player profiles and a fit, and this is an outstanding fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. There were guys I personally may have liked more, Perriman out of Central Florida, but he was a different kind of cat, a route runner, bigger, stronger, faster, had a tendency to drop balls. But, for me, as I've been a part of the game, I would have chosen Brett Perriman. That's not to take anything away from Nelson Aguilar, because I think this is a terrific choice by the Philadelphia Eagles as a fit for their system. So clearly this is a guy that was targeted by Chip Kelly. He had numerous visits out to California to meet with him. It's a guy that, certainly can step in and play immediately, and it was an area of need once Jeremy Maclin decided to go to the Kansas City Chiefs that the Eagles needed to address. Now, as we spin this forward to tonight, the receiver is now in the fold. You still have to find a corner, a safety, and an offensive lineman. So the next couple of days, can the Eagles continue to fill the holes they've had and make us feel confident coming into the 2015 season?
6:30 tonight, coverage on 97.3. Are there guys that you like still that are not, that are still available that were not taken last night? It seemed like the top end, a lot of people like the top 10, but from maybe 11 to 50, there's a nice pool of guys that can help you out.
No question about it. And I thought the draft, quite honestly, after the first two picks, was very boring. Myself personally, I got 27 of the 32 guys selected in the first round. So I think it was everyone that keeps an eye on the National Football League and monitors mock drafts and, follows the people in the know. This draft kind of fell the way we all thought it would fall. And if I nail 27 out of 32 as an outsider, that's pretty good. So I think when you look at this draft, now you start having to fill your needs. Teams went, with their board, which they normally do in the first round, but now you have to start looking, at needs that you have on your roster. And the second and third rounds are still very quality football players. You're talking about the top 100 players coming from the college level in those first three rounds, the top 100. So you've got to hit on your second and third rounders to become starters and fill voids in your offense or defense and the lower third of that roster on special teams. Now you start getting the later rounds, becomes a little more of a crapshoot, rounds 4 through 7. But rounds 2 and 3, you've got to get starters and potential all-pro players.
A lot of fun the next couple of nights for some of these kids, and we'll see what the DraftKings Boardwalk Bowl is Saturday, May 30th at Boardwalk Hall. And Jaws, this is one of these things where you mentioned they got to get the support, you got to come out. How did this, all come out? What made you decide to come to Atlantic City with this game?
It was really pretty simple. I've been a resident of New Jersey since 1977. I vacationed down the Jersey Shore, and I got kind of tired of hearing all the negativity about Atlantic City and in particular southern New Jersey. I know the quality and character of the people here, the hard work ethic that they have, and I just wanted to bring some positive feeling to Atlantic City. And I was embraced, and I'm very thankful for that from the everyone in Atlantic City, Don Guardian's office, the Governor Christie's office, State Senator Steve Sweeney. They all embraced this opportunity to show off Atlantic City. Now, can you imagine this, Mike, when we come on the air at 6 o'clock on May 30th, on CBS Sports, and the opening is, that aerial shot of Atlantic City, of Boardwalk Hall, the bright lights of Atlantic City, the beautiful casinos, restaurants, and shopping that is all there. That's the vision on a national TV telecast that we want to show in Atlantic City. So, hey, I'm taking a risk by taking a game from the Wells Fargo Center where we're going to draw 10,000 people a game. My belief in New Jersey, my belief in Atlantic City, and as you know, the Maxwell Football Club, I gambled and brought that there 15 years ago. It's been a great success. My golf outing, which has raised close to $5 million for at-risk youth in our community, has been a great success down the Jersey Shore. I'm expecting people to embrace what we're doing at the Philadelphia Soul and create jobs and opportunities in Atlantic City.
Well, it should be a lot of fun, and we hope that, as you mentioned, it gets supported. And I think the people out there listening should certainly get out there. The tickets are at Ticketmaster. It is Saturday, May 30th, Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, and hopefully the team comes in, as you mentioned, at 9-0. They are 5-0 right now, and it is cool. Atlantic City and Vegas, how they set that up to get a little battle going. Vegas got the beat this weekend, where the fight will be out there with Mayweather and Pacquiao, and then, of course, the two, Atlantic City and Vegas, will have battle on the football field in just a couple of weekends. Ron Jaworski, everybody, the Soul in town on May the 30th at Boardwalk Hall. Jaws, it's always great to catch up, pal.
Great, Mike. Look forward to speaking with you down the road as we get closer to May 30th because we're going to kick some butt against Las Vegas.
Take care, man. A lot of fun. Right.